Welcome to my channel. Hi, I'm Kylie, just another Army vet. Today I'm reacting to life in the Canadian Army. Now this is my first Canadian video that I reacted to, so I'm kind of excited.
Always ready for tomorrow's challenges in a complex, dangerous world, Canada's professional soldiers are forged in combat. Devoted to helping people in need and proud of their regiments and their traditions.
They wear berets in the field.
And on deployments overseas, they defend our country's sovereignty and values with the highest standards of military excellence. Regular force or reserve, a career in the Canadian Army is a unique melding of service and skill, camaraderie and commitment, action and adventure.
I found in civilian life, a lot of people accepted the status quo and said good enough far too often. In the Army, good enough is never good enough. You always want to strive to ensure that you're doing the best job possible.
A lens, maybe?
Here's how an Army career begins. After basic training, new Army recruits and officers move on to their technical and trade-specific training at one of the Canadian Forces specialized training establishments. In the combat arms, it could be one of the Army's area battle schools in Wainwright, Alberta, Meaford, Ontario,
so it's their advanced individual skills training, just like the U.S. Army and the other branches of the military.
Go to
Same
Kingston,
thing.
Ontario for their specialized training, learning to use the tools that keep information moving in a modern mobile army. And finally, soldiers that choose medical, intelligence, military police, or one of the support trades like logistics get their occupational training at Borden, Ontario.
I wonder how long medic school is for the Canadians.
Non-commissioned member, you'll be mastering the specialized job skills that the Canadian Army needs and gaining the expertise, leadership, and self-confidence that Canadian employers desire and reward. The Army provides unique opportunities for people not only to learn valuable technical skills, but also to learn to function effectively as part of a team in a dynamic environment.
The best part is working with a bunch of guys, having a good time, getting the job done. You're serving your country, which is a good feeling in itself. I love my job, I love what I do.
The relationship you build with your men and your peers, your fellow officers.
So I guess that's the Canadian version of an MRA, I guess. In Canada, what do you guys call that?
If you're a member of the regular force, once your training is complete, you'll be posted to one of the Canadian Forces bases across the country. As a soldier, most of your time will be spent in garrison, working at your home base. On garrison duty, soldiers enjoy the same basic working hours and holidays as civilian workers. Your daily routine in garrison usually starts with PT, or physical training, in the morning.
Notice how they're showing the fun part of physical fitness, playing the sports, neglecting to show 10-mile runs or the calisthenics.
The rest of the day is filled with maintenance, training, and other duties.
As a new private, it was pretty intimidating coming to the regiment, but there are a lot of very experienced people who were there to kind of help me along, show me the ropes, show me my faults, show me my strong points, and just kind of guide me in the right direction.
U.S. Army garrison life is the same thing, essentially. It's a lot of training, maintenance, physical fitness, and preparing for field exercises and recovering from field exercises and area beautification. And of course, we can't forget all the online training that they probably have to do also.
It's a steep learning curve and a lot of fast and furious things coming at me, so it was very exciting.
You learn very quickly.
And I was very happy to be there.
Officers spend their time in garrison planning and supervising training, preparing for field operations, and carrying out their management and administrative duties.
The most challenging part is pretty much the same thing as the most fun part. You're doing things that you haven't done before. They're putting you into a position where you're definitely out of your comfort zone. And you start using your training, and it actually starts forming a decent plan. And when you get to see it all come together, you realize, like, wow, I just did that.
After their trade training, Reserve Force personnel return to their home unit to continue with additional training.
Does Canada also have a National Guard, or just a Reserve
life is only
Force?
One facet of the Army experience.
And does the Reserve Force, can they act as a National Guard if there is no National Guard?
A deployment
Does that make sense?
An intense 24/7 experience in remote territory under extreme conditions. But taking part in international deployments is one of the most important missions of our modern Canadian Army. Protecting local populations, clearing landmines, delivering humanitarian assistance, and working closely with village residents and schools. These tours usually last about 6 months.
6 months.
It's something soldiers
U.S.
look
Army,
forward
it's
to
about
and
6 to
spend the rest
9
of their
months
time training
for
and
combat
preparing.
deployments. When I went to Baghdad, it was for over a year though.
Your whole life, that's why you got in the military. Being able to do your job is in a real environment is actually just one of the best feelings.
Honestly, my best experience in the Army so far has been my deployment to
So what is
Afghanistan.
her job exactly?
Your existence in the military is to train for war, you know?
Can
that's our
females
job. And
also
when you finally get to put everything into play and all your
go
training
into the
comes
infantry?
play, there's no better feeling than being over
Or
there
other
with
combat
everybody
arms
that you work
units?
so hard with, and you're
Or
finally put in a
jobs?
situation where you really have to shine.
If you know, drop that in the comments.
Always took great pride in being Canadian and seeing that the contributions the Canadian military had made worldwide. I wanted to be a part of it.
When your unit is on a field exercise or deployed overseas, the mission takes precedence over the comforts of home. Soldiers are housed in camps consisting of modular shelters like these and eat their meals in a communal field kitchen. Some units are assigned patrol duties that can take them away from their camp for days at a time, traveling, working, eating, and sleeping in the field. In camp, there are daily email and telephone links to family and friends back home where possible.
So having a little internet cafe and a chow hall, is this typical on all field exercises? Because on most field exercises in the U.S. Army, there is no internet cafe. We're not allowed to have our phones, and you'd be lucky to find an internet connection in your talk. So is this typical to have this luxury in the field every time you go? That's what I want to know.
And as an added bonus, you don't pay any taxes on your income while you're on deployment in some parts of the
Same
world.
with the U.S.
and
Army.
your room and board are
Or
paid for by
actually
the Army.
military.
In my short 4 years, I've done everything from being a soldier on the ground in Afghanistan to fighting floods to doing missions all over the place.
It's a fast-paced and hard job, but there's a lot of respect and there's a lot of honor in it. And if you put everything you have into it, you'll get everything you want out of it.
Even out here training,
Are corporals considered to be NCOs in the Canadian Army? Because in the U.S. Army,
I don't think I've laughed so much.
corporals are NCOs, and their pay grade's E4.
But as well, you do have quite a bit of fun with it too, which makes it worthwhile.
What is that
For me,
pin on
it's
his
become
beret?
The teamwork.
Anybody know?
It's the atmosphere. The fact is I could do a 9-to-5 job doing the exact same thing on Civvy Street, and I'm sure it's just as gratifying to some people, but the fact is I can do it here, and maybe tomorrow I can deploy to Afghanistan or to Alert, and it's just the fact that we can go a lot of places that most other people don't even know exist.
So the Canadian Armed Forces put this video out, and it's a recruiting video, but it's not one you'd see on TV. I would not be surprised if they played this video for potential recruits and their parents at recruiting centers, and I bet they also play this video in Canadian high schools and even universities.
You may have more specific questions about enrolling as a member of the Army and about the many opportunities available to you. Please feel free to ask any of the Canadian Forces personnel at the Recruiting Center for help.
Whatever choice you make, rest assured that in choosing the Army, you'll be joining a team with a proud heritage, carrying on a vital tradition of peacemaking and peacekeeping, and of coming to the aid of people in need, both here at home and around the world.
It's exciting, it's important, and we do make a difference.
Canada does do a lot of good
Difference
stuff.
at the end of the day, so you're not really just showing up to work and trying to make money. You're actually doing something you enjoy, and you're doing something that's actually worthwhile to the community.
Getting in, I was hoping for deployments. I was hoping for some travel
Same
and
with
stuff
me.
like that. But I really didn't have an idea of how much stuff would actually be going on and how busy I would actually be. And it's definitely gone way above and beyond what I ever expected. There really is no other lifestyle like it, and I've loved it from day one.
From watching this video, it does feel like both militaries are very similar. I felt like I was sitting in a recruiter's office in New York all over again. So I love my Canadian brothers and sisters. I'd love to watch some more videos on these guys. Any suggestions, please drop it in the comments. Before you leave, why don't you smash that like button? Check out this video right here. Thanks for watching.